Welcome to Rubber Duck Engineering. Tonight we're going to explore tokenizers for HTML. Off into the wild blue tag yonder. Hey, Dr. Barth.
Hey Eric, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. I slept well for the first time in a long time last night. It's performance review season and it's very busy at work, and I've been a little stressed, but it's going well. And I'm really enjoying this project. I was hacking on it this weekend, so it's fun to write a tokenizer again.
Yeah, I saw you made a lot of progress in the test harness.
I did. I have things set up to where I think we can actually make reasonable forward progress on the tokenizer now. I think at the end of the last episode we had a bug in our test harness, which caused us then to make a bug in our code to try and correct for it.
Yeah, when we were looking at the pass-fail diffs from our changes, they didn't make any sense.
Correct. And when I finally fixed the bug in the test harness, we were reusing an iterable. So I don't fully understand all the state of Dart iterables, but it appears that some Dart iterables, once you iterate them, then they're iterated, which makes some sense. And
so we were pulling on the token stream, and that was modifying it for the 2 different times we were touching it.
Yeah, in sort of a funny way, we would pull the token stream. We would pull the tokens out as an iterable, and then we iterated through them or did something with them, made a matcher from them or something. And then when we would try and print them, it would print from the first one forward, like the first element. We'd lose the first element of the array.
Oh, interesting.
And so then it caused us to introduce this bug where we were emitting this extra character token. And so then once I fixed the iterable, it was very obvious, like, why are we emitting this extra token? And then I looked at the last line of code that we had right at the end of the last episode, and was just blatantly wrong. And so I deleted it and all the tests passed, or a bunch more tests passed. So we have a mistake in our system, which was somewhat intentional, where the output, the JSON output, and the matchers are separate logic. We had the same thing that we were trying to correct for in Flutter, right? So in classical view frameworks, the update method and the create method are separate. So the way when you create a view, it is separate from when you update a view. And that's part of what the React pattern solves for, right? We have the same problem here of that, we have 2 different ways to express the same thing. The JSON output versus comparing the JSON output. And you can just have bugs between them. So, yes, HTML5.
Yeah. Glad you like the joke. Should we dig in? Should we try to implement more tokenizer states and then see test turn green? Is that the
yeah, we certainly can. We can really get going now. So I think these are mostly reasonable test output. I did actually some analysis. If I pull up the README, I did use this command on the test expectation. So I think we had test expectations last time. It's just this printed file of the results of running the tests. And you can see we have 71 start tag figures. I fixed the end tags. I implemented end tags. I think I have semi-working or mostly working attributes. There's 300, we haven't implemented comment tags, so there's 300 tests of that. There's 850 tests of doctype, because we haven't tried doctype in its 11,000 states yet.
And doctype is the most complicated part of the HTML parser. Should we do comments? 303 tests? I mean...
Well, if you want to fix 2,000 tests, we just do entities. So 2,000 of these tests are just entities, because they test every single entity.
Okay.
So for those who don't know what an entity is, it's the label the ampersand, foo, things that replace with the symbols, like pre-emoji days here.
That sounds hard. Comments sound easy. I don't know.
The entities is a hash lookup, but yeah.
How hard can comments be?
Comments should be very straightforward. The other thing is, if we want to fix entities, we may have to re-architect the system a little bit. Right now, we don't treat EOF as a character. We treat EOF specially, and the spec is written in the entity case where you have to read it again and handle EOFs. And we either have to have more states than the spec does in our tokenizer, or we have to handle EOFs like they expect it to. But the way that we're currently cheating with EOFs is not compatible with entity parsing. So let's do comments.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little revved. How was your week?
My week was pretty good. As you mentioned, it was super busy at work. Yeah, looking forward to the weekend. Getting pretty close.
I saw people in person twice this week. It was amazing. I went to a meetup on Wednesday, and I went to an in-person work event tonight. A colleague is leaving from another team. It was great. So, comments. Let me pull up the tokenizer.
We have the comment states here, so I'm just going to copy them from the list of states and put them here.
There's a few states, but not that many.
I remember comments are funny because the dashes can overlap. So you have to, that's where all the funny states come from.
The dashes can overlap. Okay.
Yeah, not like naively, if you were just imagining HTML was written in the same way, like the way you start a comment is you go bang dash dash and you put your comment and then you go like that.
Okay.
But it turns out that so if HTML was sane, this would be the smallest comment.
Okay.
But it turns out that is a legal comment, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Or at least that is a legal comment. I'm not sure whether this is a legal comment. I don't know whether that is a legal comment either.
I'm sure it's in the test case.
We'll find out. So should we find these in the spec and copy and paste the spec language?
We can start with the first one. As I've had, and we did this in the previous episode, but I've had good success with just implementing enough for sanity and then making the rest be data state.
Okay, and I think we enter this from the start tag state. Yeah, here. If we go to line 309.
Yep.
Right,
okay. So that makes sense.
Markup open declaration state? No, I was expecting. What is the first comment state? I guess we need the markup open declaration state. Clearly exclamation mark is how you start this. This must be it.
This is in the markup declaration open state. What is that?
We're going to find out.
Markup declaration
equals.
That's from the tag open state. Okay. So it's some sort of pre
markup declaration open state. So we're going to need that one.
Okay. I'll make exclamation mark work real quick.
Okay. Open state. Continue. Okay.
X21. So we have our own sort of constants for characters, because I learned this weekend that Dart does not support character constants, character literals. There's no there's no that is not a thing.
Here's markup declaration open state. It was the one right before the comment, so that's pretty good. Okay. Case markup declaration open state. We need that from the spec.
It's not. Yeah, I got it, but it's not. Something's typoed here.
It doesn't have the word state in it. I fixed it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Where are you? There we are.
Yeah.
Oh, Oh, I see. It was the state part. You had extra state. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, if the next few, you have to look ahead?
Consume those two characters.
We have to look ahead.
Really?
That's what it says. If the next few characters are.
Okay, and switch to the comment start state. Okay. All right, so we need to look ahead. So input dot peak 2, I guess.
Well, if you look at these other states, it wants to do a case insensitive match for doctype or the string C data.
Okay. So maybe we want to say look ahead.
You want a look ahead string that you pass it.
Pass in like that?
that's what appears the spec wants you to do. We can argue about whether that's a good way to design it, but.
And then we want to say state equals, I'll consume these two characters. So what is that? Input dot get next code point. Oh, we did like look ahead and consume.
It's going to be a problem.
What?
EOF handling is going to be a problem here.
We'll just return false, right?
Like, oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Inside of this. Okay. So then switch to the state that is comment start state.
Okay.
Okay.
I like the look ahead and consume pattern. I think is this what we did in WebKit? I don't remember.
Yeah, that's what we did. Create. Oh, we need to create the comment token.
A decade ago.
You know, I wouldn't remember except this. I get the same prompts, and so I get the same idea. We used to work on the same team. We worked on the same team for many years. We currently work on different teams. And this is our fun hack together time. That's sort of why the show exists, because we don't get to hack together at work anymore.
Well, it may have used to involve more whiskey and less hacking, but in the pandemic, it has been hacking.
Yeah, drinking and doing a live broadcast. I mean, some people can do it. It's beyond me.
Definitely.
Okay, so we did this. Okay. And then I think otherwise we're going to go to the data state, right?
Data state. Sure.
To implement the rest.
Let's see. It's incorrect comment state. Switch to bogus comment state. We may need bogus comment state. I think, yeah.
Okay. State. Oh, I remember the bogus comment state.
I do have some vague recollection.
All right, we can add that. Switch to the bogus state. And do we continue at that point?
Yeah. Let's continue as just default. Oh, by the way, you have a reconsume marker, but I don't think it actually does anything yet. Like I have in other code that I have written, I have just done a continue instead of a reconsume. How are they not the same?
So one of them is like, okay, let's go on to the next character. And the other one is we're still trying to process the current character.
Doesn't reconsume push it?
So if you scroll up to where this is defined, so notice that reconsume, like if you say continue, you'll come back here at the beginning of the loop. You'll grab the next code point. If you jump to reconsume, then you'll keep whatever is in this variable and just go back through the switch statement.
But I thought the reconsume in pushes. Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay.
So I think the one jump to reconsume that we have is probably a bug.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a performance optimization. We can get rid of it. Like it's always correct to push it and then continue. It's just it's a common operation in the spec. Yeah, so you can just change that to reconsume in, and then we can get rid of this label. When we look at performance, that'll turn out to be important because this pushing and popping on the input stack is unnecessary, and this is a common operation. But it's fine.
So
we can
reconsume in care and then whatever state we're aiming for, tag name. It's all fine. I do think we should just either fix them all at once or.
Oh, so that change you just made was incorrect. Yeah, that's fine. Because if you return here, you need to yeah. Okay. So this is good. We're sort of mixing changes, right? So like.
Yeah, correct. I actually don't want to make this change. Can we back out the recon? I feel like we should do that in a separate pass.
Yeah, let's back that out and just add it to do comment, and then we'll. Hey. Okay.
Or do we share an undo buffer?
I
think we have separate ones, so you may have to.
I'll just put reconsume back. Do you want to look at the diff to make sure that we've changed only the things we think we've changed?
It's loading up. Exclamation part reconsume. We removed it. Did we add it back? Reconsume. That's not the place. It was right. Oh, I see. You have it. You have it there. It's still there. I don't know why it's not. Okay. There, it's fine. Well, input is end of file. Let's see. We lost that thing. All right. I think we're back to reasonable.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep on the comment.
Dash state.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just working on the comment start state.
Okay.
Switch to the comment. Okay.
Oops.
Oh, do we have dash as a constant?
Easily done.
Okay. If jar equals greater than sign.
They call it hyphen minus.
That's fine. This is an abrupt closing end of comment parse error. Switch to the data state. Emit the comment token. Okay.
2D. Abrupt closing empty comment parse error. Okay. Switch to the data state. Emit the current comment token. Okay. Yep.
Anything else? Reconsume in the comment state. Okay. So reconsume in. I pass in the char and then I pass in the state.
Yep.
Okay. Reconsume in
the comment state. Yep.
Okay.
It's a little awkward that we put the car share first, but that's fine. It also, you really shouldn't have to need to do that. Like you shouldn't have to need to pass the care, but car or whatever.
Okay. So we were
hey Giphy.
We're writing checks like look ahead and consume and emit comment token.
Oh, that's great.
Keep writing the checks.
Yeah, keep writing checks.
Okay.
This is how I like to hack here. Write the code that you want to exist. Begin with
we need more spec text here.
Oh, sorry. Spec text coming right up.
Boom.
You've seen the movie Galaxy Quest?
Oh yeah, Galaxy Quest is great.
I just was reminded of Sigourney Weaver is a character in that, and she's the one female Starfleet officer or whatever who's like uniform gets ripped by the end of the episode or whatever every episode, but her one job, and she defends her one job, is to talk to the computer and then say what the people want to the computer and then say what the computer says back. And I just feel like my one job there was to paste the spec text.
Sorry, I mean
No, it's okay. Visual Studio Code, for all its loveliness, it doesn't really like two people typing at the same time.
Did it say emit the current comment token? Okay. Nailed it.
I'm making you multitask brainwise here, but I went to a Flutter meetup on Wednesday, and I got to hear about Superlist, which is a project to implement a text editor in Flutter, which is cool. Really hard. You and I have both worked on text editors. Mm-hmm. Where was I going with that? I don't know. My old brain got lost. Okay. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, so we're reaching some limitations of our structure here. So we need to append something to the comments tokens data. Mm-hmm. So we need to have a comment token that we're working on now.
Okay.
So what did you made a tag token builder? Do we need like a comment token builder?
Yeah, so I changed things around a little bit. When we initially wrote this, we made the tokens mutable. They were the build objects, right? And you and I have since, I don't know that we did this 10 years ago, but I think you and I have since discovered the beauty of an immutable class pattern or whatever. Uh-huh. And so you separate builder objects from the final objects.
Okay, so we need like a comment token builder that when we're done, we're going to finalize and actually create the comment token.
Yeah, and
I think the comment token builder is quite simple, right? It's like a string, which is like comment data. I don't think there's anything more to it than a string.
Well, you wonder if it shouldn't just be like, at some point, you wonder if this shouldn't just be a token stream and just like your current token. I think this is how we did it back in WebKit. It was just like the current token was a parse token or something. I feel like I remember there was a separation in our thing between parse tokens and then the actual output tokens.
Okay. So instead of a tag token builder, this is just a token builder.
Maybe. I don't know that we need to jump there right now. I'm just saying that I think that may be where we end up. So like we could just start right with it. Like, what do we do for character tokens? I guess the character tokens, we have the...
we have a question. What text editor did you work on?
What text
This is a
editor?
great question. It's almost a trick question.
The web?
Turns out a web browser contains an entire text editor. Because like obviously when you use web pages, you type into like plain text forms, but there's actually an entire rich text editor built into your web page. If you just take any HTML tag and you append the comment editable attribute, suddenly there you are text editing the entire data model of the web using like the keyboard.
Correct. And not just any HTML tag, like the document. You go to your favorite website, including whatever one you're currently working at. You pull up the inspector, you add content editable as an attribute to the tag, and now suddenly the entire page is editable. I don't know, maybe this is what I want. Anyway, Superlist was talking about how that he was arguing against the separation between docs and apps. But then he was sort of, well, anyways, but on the web, everything is a doc because of what we just said. Because you can always grab the document and put content editable and then put a cursor anywhere and just start typing, everything that you see on the web is actually a document, which is a little banana pants, or maybe a lot banana pants.
And of course, as the web gets more complicated and introduces more tags and more formatting, the editor gets more and more complicated. And the editor inside your web browser is very, very complicated.
Well, I would actually argue a little bit about that because the content editable dream, I don't know that it actually holds. Like if you have really complicated stuff and funny CSS and stuff, like content editable won't like edit it well, but it still has to be aware of it. Like it has to not crash. But content editable by itself is not actually a fantastic editor. That's why everybody writes these editors in JavaScript, built on some of the web primitives. It's one of actually the things we went to. One of the things that forced us to actually fork. I'm not seeing head nods from Adam, so maybe I'm off in crazy land. But like one of the things that actually forced us to fork when we were doing Flutter, that we saw that we could never come back to be part of the web, is because the web has this super uneven API surface for editableness. Right, you have these super low-level primitives of let's talk OpenGL out the back, and then if you view it as like a landscape, it's like some of them are slightly higher abstraction than others, and they go down or whatever. And then like editing primitives are like skyscrapers compared to the rest of the web.
That's true. Yeah, but like an earlier version of Google Docs, there's actually a version that was based on content editable, and some of the people that we work with who got really passionate about editing in web browsers were the people who worked on that team. And they sort of felt a limitation to how well that product could work because of the underlying browser editor. And so then they spent many years making the browser editor better. Eventually, the Docs team decided to switch to a different model where they weren't using the browser's editor. They actually took control over the editing engine themselves and used the browser more as a display backend.
Yep. And Flutter goes even further down that. Like the Flutter isn't just a display backend. If you want to build an editor, you can build an editor, which is exactly what Superlist is doing. I feel like I've helped us get distracted from our project at hand here.
Yeah, I was trying to implement the anything else here that says append a hyphen minus, but it's mad at me.
Okay.
I think this is not a legit.
I like continuing to write fantasy code here.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
The
not equal or whatever.
I think our EOF handling here is incorrect as well. I think that's going to require the refactor that you were talking about to treat EOF more like a character.
Yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing. You see this in the entity handling too. So you just can't handle EOF like this. Although
I'll just leave that for now, and then we'll come back to that.
Although I actually think this doesn't matter. All this is trying to do is implement a parser. Oh, you need to catch it and implement the current comment token. That's
yeah. I think down here when we've sort of like if you go down to line 544, this EOF handling is really specific to some of the other states, and so you could write a new switch statement here to pull out all those cases. But I think it's more like there's some benefit to aligning the implementation with the spec, so it's more obviously what this is supposed to do.
So I would argue actually you want to deviate from the spec, but you don't want to do that until you have implemented enough of the spec.
You kind of want to get all the tests in place. So when you start optimizing for performance or for other characteristics, you know that you're not breaking anything and not painting yourself into a corner.
And so this is too early a deviation. That really this wants to be inside the character, because we didn't know that, oh, you are going to have to handle this for all the other UF sides. So, but anyway, I can fix that off camera. But we have to refactor it to make EOF a real token, or a real, like when you call the error that we made in our design here, is when you call this, you get next code point, you get back a car, but this character can never be EOF because we've already
use like -1 or something, or like just to find, like, int has 64 bits of value and there's not 64 bits of Unicode code points. So you just got to pick one and be like, that one's the fake one, that's EOF.
But you need a sentinel value here that means EOF, so you can reason about EOF as a thing that you pass around. By EOF we mean end of file. Okay.
So how do I? So I'm now in the comment state. It says append the current input character. So I have this char that's an int. How do I make it into a string to append it to my comment data?
So the way that I was doing this is like with the builders, is the builder had a method that took the int and it, I think it's like it's like string.from char code. So that'll do what you want. But I just buried that inside the builder.
That's fine, right? So I could, yeah, I mean, the
line here, that's fine too.
barcode char like that.
Yep. That's exactly.
And this thing is like begging to be refactored out into this builder pattern.
Yeah, that's all fine.
Switch to the comment. Less than sign. All right, nailed it. Continue. Okay.
There's just so many.
I got to give myself positive reinforcement.
There's so many atomisms that I'm used to after a decade of working with you. Nailed it. Or I need more Vespian commas or whatever.
Comment end state. All right. Continue. Somebody's got to give me positive reinforcement. Like,
gosh darn it! It'll be. If no one else will, I'll do it.
Oh no! Look at that. The HTML spec is like super excited about. Is that going to work? No.
No, it's like null chair or something like that. I made one for this.
Okay. Yeah. It really doesn't want nulls to show up in your DOM. Of course, you can put them there with the DOM APIs, but the parser is really excited about turning all your nulls into replacement characters.
And that's probably because IE's parser did that, right? Because there's like a naive approach where you just regex the input stream, which probably some earlier browser did.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's see, I did all these. Oh, this is a parser. I don't know if we're doing anything with parsers, but I can leave the comment in.
Yeah, I doubt we ever will.
Then we EOF again.
Anyways.
Anything else? Append the thing. Okay.
To quote another atomism, where we're going, we don't need parsers.
That's a Back to the Future. Okay. Good. All right. That's it. Nailed it. Time for the next state. Okay. Comment less than sign.
Oh, I see. You have the parser. You have the text now too.
I cut out the middle person. Oh, it's exclamation point.
It's okay. I'll just be color commentary tonight.
I mean, do you want this one? Go for it.
No. This is great.
Okay.
I've started watching competitive games again, and just like football and basketball and whatever, they have the analyze the comment or the analyze
the color commentator and the
color commentary. Yeah. And you can tell who's who, and sometimes they break the fourth wall or whatever and talk about how one person's job is. Anyways, you can be analysis tonight.
Not play-by-play. All right, that's analysis is the same as play-by-play. I think in football they call it play-by-play. But this is like the optimal state that you want to get into when you're doing a project. It's like, okay, we just got to like spam out this stuff, right? We have all the structure in place. Like, switch to the comment lessons site.
I was thinking about this last week or whatever.
Bang.
Software engineering is kind of like construction in that you do spend, like, if you've ever been involved in construction or watched someone do construction or watch somebody build a big building, they build a whole bunch of scaffolding first. They like build a whole bunch of stuff so they can do their job. I think one of the weird things about software engineering, particularly on big projects at big companies, is that you never tear the scaffolding down.
So the project I'm working on, we do add some scaffolding and tear it down. Like, so we're working on this thing to basically implement the Linux user space interface in Fuchsia. And so sometimes we put in like really pieces of scaffolding. It's like, okay, like we're doing SE Linux right now. So SE Linux, it just says, yep, everything's allowed. It's all going to be okay. And at some point we'll have to come back and actually put in the actual security checks for SE Linux.
Okay.
But I guess those are like stubs. Maybe that's different.
No, I think that's a fair analogy, stubs. But it's different because like when it's somehow that like the scaffolding for a building has to be torn down for you to use the building. Whereas because copying is free in the digital realm or whatever, like the scaffolding, you can like free copy out the actual application and distribute it without the scaffolding. I don't know. My analogy broke down somewhere along the way.
Great. So I think I got this. I'm a little weirded out that, I see, because EOF flows back in through here. They're like, well, make the comment state handle EOF. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, our EOF handling is going to be wrong because we don't have the. And it'll make a bunch of tests fail. Because this test suite is actually super heavy on EOF because it uses all these. It doesn't have anything after the states that it's trying to test.
Well, maybe this will be good motivation to do the EOF refactor. Less than bang dash. Okay. Continue.
So obviously, talking about the content editable and docs, the team that we worked with was actually partially from the Gmail team because they had written a HTML editor for Gmail that was not content editable, and then also partially from the docs team who had also initially, I think in part, tried content editable and given up on it. And I remember there was a dream at that time. This was a decade or so ago, that we could make content editable good enough for these other teams to use it. But I don't think we ever really did. I think we fixed a lot of the bugs in content editable, but mostly to enable the Gmail JavaScript editableness and the docs. Well, docs just uses their own total custom drawing backend these days.
Let's then sign bang dash. Nailed it.
All the dashes.
All the dashes. They're trying to like find the end of the comment.
And they're holding this in the state machine.
Reconsume in the comment end dash. Okay. Great. Comment bang dash state.
Do my best Sigourney Weaver here. Oh, you got that one. I'm going to do the next one.
Okay. If
that's another atomism. You had one job.
All right. It's greater than sign, or it's EOF. Reconsume in the comment end state. Okay. End. Okay, so we found the end of the comment. Excellent. Anything else? This is a nested comment parse error. Oh, we found the nested comment.
A nested comment.
Reconsume in the comment end state. So you always reconsume in the comment end state? Comment end state. Comment end state.
Hold on, I screwed up. What are you reading? Comment less than sign bang. Oh my god. Less than sign bang dash dash state.
But bang is exclamation mark. Dash is hyphen, I guess. Are these right? Should I start cutting these up?
Well, maybe. Oh no, that one looks like that's the comment end state. Yeah, that's the comment end dash. Oh, I see.
This is not right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
No, it's like this is the right one. Comment end dash.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
I need the test suite. Like even though the spec is like beautiful and like easy to read, you just get lost. Switch to the comment end state. Okay, state equals state. Continue.
Oops, I undid. I wish that we had separate undo buffers. My goodness. Oh, that was what I was going to say about Superlist. Is that Matt Carroll is the gentleman writing the super editor or whatever. He designed the editor to be multi-person edit friendly, which is just how you would design an editor in 2022. But
reconsume in comment state.
Which I would argue is an argument. I know you're distracted doing the actual show, which is an argument for why you should just rewrite technology every 20 years, because it just has different assumptions when you rewrite it.
Yeah, like for touch, like you need to rewrite a lot of things to understand touch, and like
because it's not like the people who wrote Content Editable were like super good at.
New York City does prove buildings with scaffolding are perfectly usable. I agree.
That is something I associate with walking around New York City.
Okay, I think your spec copy and pasting had an off by one error, so I'm just gonna put this back in here.
I think you're right. I'm fired. I understand. End bang state. Oh. Comment end bang.
Okay, that's fine. Switch to the data state. Data. Commit the current token. Comment. Okay. Exclamation point. Okay. Mark. Switch to the comment end bang state. And bang.
This honestly does feel a lot like construction, in that you set up to do the part of the construction job, you spam out the bricks or whatever, and then you clean up.
Okay, hyphen minus, and hyphen minus the. Okay, continue. Okay, EOF. This is a something. I'm not gonna do EOF yet. Anything else?
Here.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. Append two of these. And two of these, the comments. Okay, reconsume in the comment state. Reconsume in the comment state. Okay.
It's done.
Yep. I'll leave the EOF. We didn't do the EOF yet.
I think we're gonna have to do EOFs for all of them, yeah.
Okay. Oh, we got two more left. Let's see. Is this the right one? Yeah, looks right. Okay.
Went through and tried to fix my failures.
If char is hyphen minus and two hyphens and a bang. Okay. do the comments data state, switch to the.
Jim Keller says CPU should be redesigned from scratch every 5 years to benefit. Oh, totally. I mean, you see. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about hardware, but it appears that Apple is doing exactly that right now. With being like, why do we have the memory all the way down on the other side of a bus? Why don't we just solder it onto the CPU? And like, suddenly you have the M1. So I don't actually know who Jim Keller is. Maybe he's a famous hardware person that I should know. But makes sense to me.
This is an incorrectly closed comment parse error. Oh my gosh. Switch to the data state. But somehow it's okay because we accept the comment. We go back to the data state. We're done with the comments. And then we emit the comment token. Okay. Okay. Something about EOF, which we'll have to deal with later. Anything else? And 2 hyphens. Okay. 2 hyphens and a bang. We consume in comment state. Okay. I missed a few. Yeah, I missed a continue over here as well. Okay.
This is actually a good case for macros. And this was a really nice thing about the C++ parser.
Well, I looked at the Serenity OS HTML parser, by the way, and it's all just macros. And so the macros are all spelled to like match the spec. And so it's just like the spec, but in uppercase letters. And then the macros expand to actually make it into code. So that was neat.
Well, it also, if I recall correctly, other than the emitting character tokens, the spec was actually relatively fine as like a naive implementation.
Yeah, I think most of the ways we changed the control flow of the spec was just for performance. It's designed to be conceptually simple as opposed to like code always gets more complicated when you try to make it go fast.
Yeah.
Okay. EOF, do something null. Char. Mad at you. Append. To character. Okay. Anything else? And the current character.
Yeah, this is where the builder does what you want. That's fine.
Is it from charcode?
Yeah, from charcode. It should autocomplete. Oh, I see. It doesn't for you, or does it?
Oh, there it goes. It got confused a little bit, but I think it got there in the end. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now we just need to make good on the checks that we've written, and then we should be in good shape. I think emit comment token is going to be pretty easy.
Oh yeah.
We do that one.
Yeah, look ahead will be a little more. Yeah, let's just do the comment token. It should be very straightforward. All you have to do is clear out the nullable comment token and return a comment token.
Okay, you want to do it?
I wonder if we can just use the buffer, like this text buffer. Should just be it.
Oh. Okay, that's a good point. Let's maybe finish on this path, and we'll refactor after we get the test baseline.
Okay, but so yeah, it's just like this.
I'm going to make a comment about that.
But those should just be. So this is going to be comment data. I wanted swap from Rust when I was writing this. But you can't implement Rust swap from Dart.
Yeah, I think that Dart doesn't have like L values or something like this, or L value references or something like that.
So for those who don't know Rust, swap in Rust, you can just swap to, Rust is very good at moving data around. And so you can just swap out a null, and like this line right here just becomes swap. What happened?
Do we need to change the test JSON? Like, is there supposed to be like a like that?
Yep. If you want to pass any test, that is. And actually, that reminds me. See here again, this is where we have to implement it twice. We'll have to go back and implement it in the matcher too.
This is emit comment.
Token. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Case shouldn't complete normally. Okay. Comment end.
Oh, it just needs to continue.
Okay. Look ahead and consume. Unused import. Oh, interesting. We depend on DOM. We should. Okay, so we have just this. Look ahead and consume.
All right.
Seems straightforward. So it's just in the input here somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I scrolled past. Oh, there it is. Yep, right there.
So it's bool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look ahead and consume string value. Okay.
Yep.
So we have a push car, which makes this thing complicated. So if car equals null,
We just implement peak, right? If we just do oh, you're fine. Just keep doing. Just do int peak. Int foo. Foo is not the right offset, right? And then you do this. It's like if offset.
Oh, okay. But it's like peak question mark, right? Because it might not be there.
Well, yeah, until we do EOF, but yes.
Okay, so this is if the push jar.
So we need, we want to like subtract from the offset, right? If then we do offset minus equal per. Right?
Yeah, minus equal 1. Yep.
Adjust the offset somewhere.
Yeah, this is good. And then if offset is 0, then we've got it. Return push jar.
Is that right? Like peak offset 0. What should that?
Peak offset 0 should give you the next thing that you would.
And wouldn't that be? So we don't.
So it's the opposite, right? It's this. Right? If it's 0, then we get the push car. Otherwise, we decrement the peak.
Yep. And then you just otherwise return the offset.
We got to compare the length, right, of the data. Like if the
yeah, because you could return null in the case
if offset is greater than or equal to length, then return null. Otherwise, return data at offset. Okay. Then we can convert the string into car codes, right?
Yeah, you just walk it. I think we use runes to do it. I think actually we already did convert. Like data is already car codes. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, but the value we have to convert into runes.
Oh, sure.
The code points equals this, and then what is
runes
this?
Is not actually a list. Runes is a like magic iterator.
Iterator. So then I need like
runes is like a class, right? Get runes, and it's an iterable int.
Okay. Does it have a length?
It has. I think you can just to-list it. Yeah, you just to-list it.
Okay. I don't quite want to to-list it. I just want to walk it.
Maybe iterator always has a length. I don't know if iterable has a length.
Offset equals 0. We can say for code point in code points
Mm-hmm.
runes.
Value runes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then we want to say if peak set plus bang equals the code point, return false. Otherwise, down here, we're going to return true. We need to consume, right? This would just be look ahead. So we're going to have to consume.
In this case, we just consume a number, right? Or that's fine, yeah. While whatever offset you counted to, you just call that number of whatever those are.
Offset minus minus is greater than 0, then okay.
So before you go on, I want to point something out, which has nothing to do with this. So I've implemented for now a couple times, once for JavaScript VM and once now for the whatever it was, the Ren VM.
Mm-hmm.
And this reminds me that there's some magic that modern for loops do for you.
Which is that they evaluate this once and
They
cache
evaluate it once and they cache it in a magical variable for you.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just a performance optimization. It's also because it would do the wrong thing here if it evaluated it multiple times.
Yeah, that magical variable is so super useful. I'm really glad that that's how languages work.
When it's just super magical if you've never implemented for. And I think most programmers have just probably never thought about that. Oh, what is it doing? Oh, of course it's just going, no. Like this whole thing gets evaluated and cached for you. Anyways, it just struck me there. All right, are we done?
I don't know. Do we?
Oh, we have to fix the matchers. Matchers to actually match the comment token. All right, so we got to do this.
Okay.
And this is where we're doing it twice, and this is just error prone. Like this is the wrong design. Care, is it? What is the
data? I think. Yeah.
Data.
Okay.
That should work. Now we go.
Rerun the test suite. See.
Yep.
How we did.
So I sat this weekend to learn that when Dart moved from Dart being an exe to being maybe this is not true, but it is no longer possible for me to use this, use my Dart install from Ubuntu. The install is Windows specific. So I can't open WSL and use the Dart command or it barfs at me. It was an oversight that we made. No, sorry. Anyways, get next token. It took us off on a tangent. Oh, comment data. Oh, we probably never create the comment data?
Oh, in the bogus comment state. Maybe not.
Which state is this?
Yeah, we don't create it for the bogus comment state.
Okay. It was just we missed a line.
Yeah, we just did this.
And here again, you want a builder because you want to assert that you don't already have one open.
Yeah. Okay.
You are. Oh, I guess you're up here. Yep.
Assert the comment data. Some of these things need to be refactored. Like the builder will help a lot with this.
Yeah. That's okay. The first time we wrote this last time for the tag name, and then I refactored to a builder over the weekend. You got to get it wrong sometimes before you can get it right. Infinite loop. I think so. I think we got ourselves an infinite loop.
Okay.
Oh.
No. I think, by the way, the thing we have is very slow because we're not using the buffer builder, the string builder, we're having n squared appending to the comment data. But we'll get there.
They're really short. Well, anyways, let's see what we did. I'm looking at get diff, which you can't easily see. Whoa. Let's get diff and look at this. Get diff. I don't know what we did was correct.
Uh-oh. That seemed like a good idea at the time.
Okay, what do we got here? That's all our code. I want to get to the changes. That seems like a regression. I mean, we're changing from bad to bad, so like, okay. How did we lose?
This is an EOF case, right? Like we don't emit the character in the EOF case.
We could probably easily fix that, honestly, in a hacky way. We just check to see if we have an open comment data.
So why do we fail? This seems wrong. Dash in script HTML comment. Actual comment. Oh, that is what I thought we should get.
Here, let's fix the EOF case because I think it's straightforward for us to do, and then I think it'll fix some of these. We can look at the bottom to see if we passed any more. Oh my goodness. How do we get to the end and less? Wow, why are we just... Oh, DOCTYPES.
DOCTYPES, yeah.
Right, so we did not pass any additional tests. We just changed some. Otherwise, it would show us a thing at the bottom difference.
Okay.
So I think if we... The simple fix to the EOF handling is we just go to the bottom here. Right, it's a hack, but this is the honestly, it's both of these. Okay, and this is then comment token.
This is just emit, right? Just emit comment token. Okay.
Yeah, that's better. This these are both slightly wrong attempts that we'll fix with something better. So that should. So then we have another tool at our disposal.
I think, by the way, we're messing up the data collection. So I think if we just like tried the test case of a very, very simple HTML comment, we would see that our data is slightly off.
Okay. So let's just let's look at our diff here. I can my other side view and see.
Do you still have the interactive parser where we can pass in just a simple test case?
Yep. Okay. So now we fix a test.
Oh, okay. That's something.
I don't know which one we fixed, but shall we look through one that you want, or do you imagine? Do you have one?
I just think, can we get the interactive one? Like, I think just a very simple input of like open tag bang dash dash a dash dash close tag.
Yeah.
2 more dashes.
Yep. Dashes. Okay. Oh.
So I would expect this to be a comment tag whose data is just a. And I suspect we don't quite get this right because I, never typed anything correctly the first time in my life.
Except for a lecture, or maybe that was me, but except for the lecture, yeah. So we don't do this quite right. Except for the lecture for Ren.
The lecture for Ren. That one just didn't have any security flaws the first time.
Yeah, so sort of the same.
Let's work on this test case. So let's like run it through in our mind. So let's just start with the bang. So
you want to pull up the...
Well, I think it's interesting that look ahead and consume must not be correct, because the look ahead and consume should have consumed the 2 dashes. It looks like it only consumed. Well, let's not assume that's correct. Let's see. Should we write a unit test for look ahead and consume?
We can also just walk through it. But yeah, that would be a fine way to do it. I should note we're almost at time.
Okay.
Do you think we can salvage this, or you want to go a little over?
I don't see why not. So let's see. Can we use the debugger?
Oh, easily. So you want to do tokenize here? All right, we just click debug. I guess we should maybe put a breakpoint or something. Where do you want to put a breakpoint?
In line 521. I think I can do it. I put the breakpoint in.
Whoa. Such breakpoint. Much wow. All right, let's hit debug. I think it just like finished while we were doing its thing. Okay. So there we are.
Okay, so I'm just going to step over this.
Whoa, you have debug controls too?
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh, it didn't. It put us in the bogus comment state. So look ahead and consume didn't do the right thing. So let's restart, and we'll come back to there, and we'll go into look ahead and consume. Oh.
Sure. We just restart. Yep. Okay, it's restarting.
Okay. So let's step into this.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Step in. Offset is 0.
We never
Code
up the
point.
offset. Oh no, we do.
What is code point? Code point is 50.
45.
45. Let's step into this. Okay. Offset should be 0 here. So
we're never gonna. Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay. Data at offset 0.
45 is the dash. Yeah.
Okay. What does that return?
You don't want offset 0, by the way.
I don't want offset 0?
No.
Oh, I want the data offset. The next offset plus the offset.
Yeah. That's a problem in life.
That sounds like the problem in life.
And that's an ergotism. I was picking on you about all your atomisms, or maybe not picking on you, but
yeah. Okay, try that.
I
think you can kill the debugger and just try it.
By the power of debugging. Okay, what did we get? What was our output? Show me the money.
I'll just try running it again from the terminal. Nope, that didn't make a difference. Okay, but that was a definite bug.
Grateful for small favors here. Another ergotism.
Let's go back and debug it some more. All right, let's step into that again. Okay. Okay. Oh, it didn't like the last one. The second one was no good. The first one matched, but the second one didn't.
Well, we need to see what it is that it's comparing against.
Okay, so let's restart again. So
down with feeling.
We are at time. I just feel like this is a sort of interesting thing that we're doing here. So I'm inclined to do it for a couple more minutes.
That's fine. Oh.
So what is the state of our object now? Like the input manager, like next offset is 3. So oh, look at the data. Can you, if you expand this in the input manager and look at data.
Why is that? What is it? Okay, data.
So 0, 1, like we want to look at.
So we're.
Yeah, so this is the 60 must be the a less than sign. The 33 must be the bang. And we're sort of off by 1 in the data offset.
You would expect us to be at looking at 97 as being the next. So we like haven't consumed the current.
Yeah, like the input manager is like 1 state ahead. So just for the sake of experimentation, I'm going to put a -1 here. This -1 is incorrect. I want to see what effect that has.
Okay, I'm super skeptical of that -1, but
the -1 is totally wrong, but I just want to see if that's what's causing that issue. No. Okay, I feel like we're not going to solve this debugger thing in the next 30 seconds. So
okay.
I think it's an interesting state.
I will admit that it is highly unlikely that I will leave it in this interesting state between now and next week.
This is sort of an interesting part of the development process. It's like, okay, you spammed in all the code, and now it doesn't work. And so, like, you massage it into shape. Like, it's it sort of has this feel of this like beast that wants to do the thing that you want it to do. It's just being like held back by like a few little like pieces of twine, right? It's gonna like free it from its twine, and it's gonna like parse your comments correctly.
Yeah, we're very close. And then we would have done comments, and you can do the same thing for DOCTYPES, and you can do. I think maybe next week we should look at tree building if we're going to keep down this, because I think, like, I don't actually know that DOCTYPES would probably take 2 episodes to get through because it's like just so many states. Maybe I'll spam it out over the weekend or something like that.
But it's the same pattern, right? You go through the thing, you type in all the states, then you try to run the tests, and they don't work, and then you massage them until they do, and then suddenly it all works.
Yeah. Anyways, this was great as always. Wonderful to hang out with you. So nice for folks to come by. Nice to see you, Avis. Nice to see you, Giffy. And any other last notes before we head our merry ways?
No, see you next week.
Yeah. See y'all next week.